Hello, today we're going to talk about how to use Onshape configuration. And to do that, we're going to create a sawhorse, a very basic one. So what I did is I started by creating a basic 2x4. And as you'll see, it measures 3.5 by 1.5, which is the actual dimensions of a 2x4. And then I also did add some chamfers because that's what we need for the legs if you saw in the original picture. Now I'm going to show you how to use just this one part to be able to create the entire assembly for the sawhorse. So we're going to go to configuration on the right side and we're going to choose list. And this is where we're going to put different configurations for different lengths. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to name the top one here. And we're going to call it, oh, let me just highlight it here. We're going to call it ridge. And then we'll call our second option leg because it is only a two-piece item. We're just going to stick with those. Now we're going to configure features. So this is where we tell it what it's driving. So we're going to select our extrude and choose our depth. And you just got a single click and click done and it will add it to. And now we can change that dimension here. So I'll change ridge to 36 and I'll change my legs to 24. And now we can select and it'll change the size of our object, okay? Now we still have our chamfers and it will keep those chamfers unless we tell it to shut them off. So what we're gonna do is create a checkbox. So, and what this will do, and we're gonna call it chamfer because it's very simple. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a checkbox, which means we can shut those chamfers off. To do that, we'll configure features, go over to chamfer 1, and select unsuppressed. So suppressing means making it disappear from the file. And then we're going to choose chamfer 2 and click unsuppressed again. So that way when we click that checkbox, it gets rid of both of them at the same time. And we'll uncheck the top two. So when it unchecks, it will appear and disappear. So now we'll go over to our assembly and we'll start bringing in our parts. So to insert, we can select our part and we can pick our configurations and whether we want a chamfer or not, and then click generate. And then we can bring in that piece. So now I can change it to the leg, add the chamfers, and generate it, and then I'll bring it in 4 times because we need 4 legs. So now we'll start the assembly, which I'll speed up because I've gone over assembly before. So we're just going to fasten mate all 4. And then I'm going to hide my origin point just to get it out of the way. Now, how do we configure the BOM table to list it as separate parts? So to do that, we're going to go back to our part and we're going to go to configured properties. And then we'll add a property and we'll do a description. Well, it loads here. Yep. And then we'll type in basically the name that we called the configuration. And that'll help it bring over the BOM table. At this point of the recording, unfortunately, they can't bring configuration over to the BOM table, so we do have to tell it. And we do have to choose the settings, so make sure you do uncheck chamfer for ridge. That way it knows when it's unchecked and it's ridge, then that's what you should name the description. So now we have our description in there. And we'll get rid of our part number, and we're going to bring over our name because we did call it a 2x4, and that would tell you as a build list what to call it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good day.